In this video, we'll talk about using Google Scholar to do scholarly research. You can access Google Scholar at scholar.google.com. Google Scholar is very similar to doing a Google search, but it uses an algorithm that specifically prioritizes scholarly and peer-reviewed research. Generally, you're going to get almost entirely journal articles, but do note that not all of these articles will have gone through peer review. Because of this, when you put your search terms into the search bar for Google Scholar, you want to treat it a little different than you would for a regular Google search. In a regular Google search, you might write something like a question, but you don't want to write a question in Google Scholar. In a regular Google search, you might also do something like ask for general examples, but again, that is not what you want to do in Google Scholar. Remember that Google Scholar is trying to give you journal articles, so it's not a quick reference point. It's actually for full scholarly articles on a topic. So what you want to do is have very focused keywords, like you would use in a database. You want just the main keywords without any questions or prepositions. Doing this kind of search will get you journal articles that discuss things like the validity and reliability of these assessment tools and how they're used within healthcare systems. Each of these results is a record describing the existence of a journal article, but it may not actually have a link to the full text of the journal article. In this top one, I actually am able to download this article and get to the full text. However, in this second one, I'm not able to get to the full text. The links on the right, however, always go to full text. So if you see links on the right, go ahead and click on them to get full text access to the article. Now let's look at some of the more advanced features in Google Scholar, starting with the actual advanced search features, going up to the top left corner for the 3 lines, and then down to the second from the bottom for advanced search. In this box that opens up, you can specify exactly what words you want to appear and in what ways you want them to appear in the results. So the top box is for when you want all of those words to appear in all of the results you get. The second box down is when you want an exact phrase, say 2, 3, or 4 words that need to show up in a very exact order in the results. The third box down is for when at least one of those words must show up within the results. And the fourth box down is for any words that should automatically result in the exclusion of that result. Let's run a quick example. I want to find articles that are about how a patient's health literacy impacts their adherence to medication. For these articles, I know that the words patient and medication must appear in all of the results I get. So I'll put those in the first box. In the second box, I want health literacy to show up as an exact phrase in that exact order. So I'll type it in here. In the third box, I realized that it could say either compliance or adherence to medication. They mean about the same thing. So I'll put those words here. I don't have anything that I want to exclude, and I don't have a specific author, journal, or time frame. So this is all I'm going to do for my search. Now I have a set of results that are specifically focused on how health literacy as a phrase impacts a patient's medication adherence or compliance. Note that at this time, if I want to do so, I can limit the specific time frame and say I only want articles since 2020, 2019, 2016, or I can set a custom range. And I can also reorder things. They automatically are ordered by relevance, but you can sort them by date. Note that because I have a very large set of results, if I order them by date, then probably a lot of the most recent articles aren't going to be very relevant. Finally, if I found something in here that's really interesting to me and I want to find it later, then as long as I am logged into a Google account, I can star an article. This saves it into my library. I can then come back and find this article again later. Another thing you can do is click on these quotation marks. This gives you an approximate citation in several different formats. AMA format is not one of the formats included, but APA is. Remember that this is an approximate citation. There is very likely to be errors in here. Next, I can get a list of cited by articles. What this means is that there are 279 articles that have cited this article on health literacy, a barrier to pharmacist-patient communication and medication adherence, since its publication in 2009. And by clicking on this, I can get a list of those 279 articles. Next, I can get a list of what Google Scholar thinks are related articles. Finally, if you use EndNote in order to collect citations, you can actually download EndNote citations directly from Google Scholar. A fast and easy way to do this is to go back to the 3 lines in the top left corner, go back down to Settings at the bottom, then on the first page that pops up, go to Bibliography Manager and change this drop list to say EndNote, then hit Save. By doing this, you now have an Import to EndNote link down here, and this will import a citation directly into your EndNote file. That's it for Google Scholar. As always, if you have any questions, issues, or if you just like further clarification, please contact the library.